I can't tell you how I know. Do with this information what you will. There's going to be a Nintendo Direct next month. It's going to tease a card, Animal Crossing, coming out in 2026.
People are going to lose their minds, 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 lose their minds.
This Nintendo Direct leak took over the internet. It was shared across Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, all over the gaming news world. But here's the problem. I made it up.
Popular YouTuber, Beatemups, on his podcast where he said this last month.
There's going to be a Nintendo Direct next month.
Beatemups believes a Direct will be in July.
Known for his channel Beatemups and also host of the Nintendo podcast,
said that he had an unidentified source that says there will be a Nintendo Direct.
Woods is not usually a leaker, so this is spicy.
Big Nintendo Direct in July.
And he's not typically a person to like put out leaks and rumors.
Wood said that he had a source.
Hopefully Beatemups is completely telling us good info.
A very well trusted YouTuber, Wood from Beatemups,
where a YouTuber came out and said
a new game in the popular Animal Crossing franchise.
A YouTuber said that there's a potential leak for new Animal Crossing.
He doesn't do this, so why is he doing it now? Well, he must be fairly confident.
And I honestly can't see why they would lie about this at all.
Is this legit?
Do you believe him or do you not believe him?
I really hope this turns out to be true. So we will see if he's correct or not.
And I want you to know right now that if you are wrong about this, if you have gotten my hopes up,
he might actually get Beatemups online if we don't get anything that happens this week.
I just can't see why Beatemups would lie about this.
I will hire every single Etsy witch I can to put a curse upon you.
And for Wood's sake, he better be right.
Your life is going to be ruined.
I hate gaming leaks. They ruin surprises, they spoil moments that we love, and I've always been curious, how do fake leaks get so much traction? Like, how does something so clearly fake go viral? We live in a culture of constant Nintendo Direct rumors, manufactured excitement, and clickbait YouTube titles. Hey, so I had a thought, what if I leaked huge gaming news? If I followed the spread of that leak, attract its momentum, and then the ripple effects, could I conduct an experiment to find a way to stop fake leaks once and for all? But there was one problem. I am not an industry insider. I don't have any leaks. I am just a YouTuber. So, you know, in a way, I kind of had to lie.
There's going to be a Nintendo Direct next month in July. Metaphor. We're going to get GameCube. I heard it was Pokemon Death Coliseum Stranding was Director's Cut S. Witcher 3 Nintendo Switch 2 Metroid's I heard date. Isabelle's going to show up and it's going to tease a card, Animal Crossing, coming out in 2026.
Sorry about that. I actually am very, very sorry about that. I didn't really think of this through at all. I'll be completely honest. I'll go off script and let you know right now that I regret doing this whole thing. I am proud of how this video has turned out and what I learned, but I kind of wish I didn't do it because I did not expect the reaction that I got, and I feel incredibly guilty, and I am very sorry. But I did it, so let's talk about it.
I can't tell you how I know. Do with this information what you will.
I worded what I said on the podcast very carefully. I didn't say where my information came from. I didn't even say how I knew. I said quite literally, I can't tell you how I know. And I said that on purpose for two reasons. One, I wanted people's imaginations to run wild. I wanted to know how the media would interpret that if it did go viral. And two, I was lying. So,
I don't know how much of that is true. That's everything I heard. And I never get information.
And I know what some people are gonna say. Some people are gonna say, oh sure, now it's some big social experiment. Now you're trying to help stop leaks. You know, all of a sudden, you know, if I was smart, I would have immediately after the podcast pre-recorded something saying like, oh, this is my intention, you know, so that Now, when making this video, I could show that clip to prove that that actually was what I was planning on doing the whole time. But, you know, too bad I didn't do it.
I just did an episode of my podcast, and on that podcast, I told everybody that I knew about a Nintendo Direct that's coming next month in July. I was lying.
You were lying?
I was lying, yeah. I just wanted to see if I gave a bunch of crazy leaks, like I had information and I buried it within a podcast, if anybody online would pick it up. Like if anybody tweets about it, if any articles are made.
Headlines.
You know, YouTuber Beatemups, 2 million subs, leaks, or says he has insider info. Witcher 3 Nintendo Switch 2 edition is coming soon.
Also,
Animal Crossing reveal on the horizon.
I think we're gonna get it.
If I can data mine any of the info to stop leaks in the future, I'm going to then release this so you know that I didn't know and that I was just making it up. I'm sorry for the lie itself. I really am. Specifically to the people that listen to my podcast, who I feel the most guilt for. But if you'll stick with me, I actually did learn a lot about how leaks spread, why people believe leaks, and more importantly, I actually think I've come up with some answers on how we can stop the spread of leaks, specifically fake leaks and misinformation moving forward. Because if you can believe it, this silly little experiment worked. I've made a huge mistake. I have actually been, I've been shitting myself the last few days. I've made a huge mistake because so many places have reported on this leak. I should have made like a fake account. Why did I do? I start freaking out here and rambling for a while about how much I regret doing this. So let's just... This all started the very next day after the podcast. I got the first message from my friend RGT85, who messaged me to say, go on. He said, go on July Direct. But I don't want to give away the game. So I said, how'd you hear about that? Your podcast is making the rounds. Is your source legit or what? That's fine. What do you mean? Making the rounds. It was this Reddit thread on gaming leaks and rumors. Popular Nintendo YouTuber Beatemups. What did I do? Claims there will be a Nintendo Direct next month. They linked the podcast, which I actually really appreciate that. And then the list of what I leaked. Oh boy, I feel my heart racing looking at this. To start with, I want to say I'm sorry to everybody that had to read this. It just consumed their time for no reason. I really am sorry. I'm doing it for a good reason, I thought. I can't decide if it was, I'm changing my mind. I start freaking out again here for a while, so how about we just jump back to present day? This Reddit thread was the catalyst to the entire leak going viral. Someone just posting a thread summarizing what I said. And it's so interesting because what they did is they made it look like every other leak you see on Reddit and 4chan or Twitter. When you see those dot points and then occasionally you're given a source alongside it, it's exactly what a leak looks like. It's, I guess, the traditional format in all of this. My podcast clip itself isn't what went viral. In fact, the views on that episode are only slightly higher than a normal episode of the podcast. It was the Reddit thread that went viral. That Reddit thread then found its way to Twitter. This came from Stealth40k, which has 500,000 views now and 5,000 likes. We have our first Nintendo Direct rumor for July from Beatemups. Just a little bit of context of what I actually said, which I kind of appreciate the reporting there. But then again, sharing the snapshot of the Reddit, which is the thing that's making this look like an actual leak. It's on our gaming leaks now. So it seems like, well, it doesn't seem like I leaked it. I did it in a video. It's just, I feel like this is the first step of seeing context being removed. Never heard of him? Why don't we let it happen instead of listening to these random nobodies? I'm actually with you. I know that sounds mean. I'm actually on board. But he's like one of the biggest Nintendo YouTubers. Oh, it's that guy. I knew his face, just not the name. Well, still, I think it's a stupid leak train that needs to stop. No, I'm with you, Matthew. Matthew! I'm actually with you, Matthew. I hope when you see this video, you appreciate what I'm trying to do here, because this nobody is about to not be nobody of yours. We're gonna be buddies, is what I'm saying. From Reddit to Twitter, it then spread to gaming news articles. And let me tell you, in my illustrious career, I've only ever made gaming news articles maybe one other time, and it was when I took a pair of metal pliers to a Switch battery. What I'm saying is, it's not the easiest thing to have happen. Pretty much game over for this guy. Nintendo Direct set for July. It's claimed this is on Insider Gaming. There have been a few murmurs about a Direct coming soon, and those murmurs have intensified. This is a spoiler warning, as the leak revealed potential new games coming to Switch 2. If you don't want to know anything about the rumored games, it's nice they put a spoiler warning. For the stuff I made up, this article actually goes into what I said and that I wasn't sure completely. I like that this one used insider claims. The episode would claim he had an insider knowledge. Oh, did I? Yeah, did I say insider knowledge? I don't know if I said insider knowledge. I did not. This is what I said. I can't tell you how I know. So did this article just make that up? Though he stayed tight-lipped about his source. So, do you remember earlier in the video when I said this? I didn't even say how I knew. I said quite literally, I can't tell you how I know. And I said that on purpose. I wanted to know how the media would interpret that if it did go viral. And interpret that the Gaming Post did, because now apparently I have insider knowledge. And even more interestingly to me, they titled this article Insider Claims a Nintendo Direct is coming. So do I have insider knowledge, or am I the insider? I mean, neither of those things are true. I'm not really an insider. And I never said who gave me the information. So suddenly, as this whisper game goes on, my fake leak is getting more and more fake legitimacy as it spirals further out of control. But then it was the final boss of it all. YouTube reactors, Player Essence, Robo-Rob Gaming, Crossing Channel, Nintendo Direct in July leaks from Mussy J, X-Rays, Ike Reviews, Nintendude, Switch Force. I actually think Nintendo Prime was the first person to jump on it.
Well, it looks like we may not have to wait long, as we have a rumor from somebody who is not someone that you would expect to hear anything from. The largest Nintendo content creator in the world that focuses just on Nintendo. He doesn't do this. So why is he doing it now? Well, he must be fairly confident in the information that he's got his hands on.
At this point, the first one comes here from Beatemups over on the Nintendo podcast.
Oh God, what have I done?
It's interesting that he said this because he has apparently an insider information.
I never said that.
On the Nintendo podcast, said that he had an unidentified source.
I did not say that.
Wood said that he had a source.
No, I didn't. Why?
He says he can't spill how he knows, but he's confident.
I said I wasn't confident. I'm skeptical. Don't take my word for it.
Apparently, Nintendo is going to have a big Nintendo Direct in July.
Okay, that I did say. I did say that.
And his podcast partner was like, oh, yeah. He believed it as well. So, and then we'll break it.
I want to stress this. Bingle is not part of this. Please don't rope him in like he was part of the lie. He had no idea. This is all me. He had no idea. That man is not going down with me for this. In 2026.
People are going to lose their minds.
Boom! AC that early.
If he's wrong, I will beat him up. Honestly, you get one free punch.
We have our first Nintendo Direct rumor for the month of July, which...
Oh, this one's sad. This one's sad. Crossing Channel. Oh, it's all about Animal Crossing. Oh, it's so wholesome, and they just got so excited that I said Animal Crossing.
Suggest we will...
Nintendo, please announce Animal Crossing next month.
But this one might have a little bit more credibility than...
for crying out loud.
What we've seen in...
I don't even want to hit play. I'm not even looking. He's not even on camera, and I can't look.
Another Nintendo YouTuber, one that I actually follow. They've made a lot of really interesting content. and I honestly can't see why they would lie about this at all. They have nearly 2 million subscribers. They really have no need to get the clout or whatever like a lot of leakers do. And they suggest that we will be seeing a direct in July.
Crossing channel, I love you. I am so sorry.
Hello guys, today about the...
You can do a second take. Okay. Oh, I've been looking at all of this for an hour. I can't do it anymore. But this had gone so viral. People were tweeting about the leak and not even mentioning me. 200,000 views and 4,000 likes. Now, okay, the source is linked in the description, but that only has 10,000 views, which means most people didn't see that. And that's when I realized I wasn't even needed anymore. Another one here, another one here, one from OB Plays. Again, just sharing like the rumor itself and not the source. At this point, today and yesterday has turned into just, here are the rumors, here are the leaks, here's what's happening, with no accreditation to whoever it is that's leaking it. So now the leak has a life of its own. Now it's just escalating. At first, when I started this experiment, I was worried. I thought, oh, I've tainted this. How did I not realize that of course my leak was going to go viral because it's me. This isn't some random anonymous person leaking something on 4chan somewhere. This is Wood from Beatemups leaking it on his podcast. Of course people were gonna believe me. I'm the Nintendo guy. I thought me being the one to leak it would ruin the experiment in that way. But it was at this point when I was seeing tweets being spread around not even mentioning me that I realized the leak at this point is spreading without me anyway. That meant that the variable of me was removed. And that is where this experiment can finally begin. Why did people believe me? Even people who didn't know me. You can barely see that. That's better. On these videos or tweets where people don't credit or source me at all, there is so many comments from people excited about the leak, fully ready to believe. To them, this was becoming real. I guess if the rumor or leak just sounded believable, that was enough for some people. Maybe it aligned with what they hoped was true, making them more willing to trust that it was. It didn't matter if it was real, people were running with it anyway. So I went to work getting my PhD in Google. And it was here I learned about something called confirmation bias. This is where we tend to believe things that reinforce our existing hopes, beliefs, and expectations. And we tend to ignore anything that contradicts them. And I saw that happening in real time. The one more thing is supposed to be just a teaser card. I heard Isabel's gonna show up and it's gonna teaser card Animal Crossing coming out.
Boom! AC that early.
That'll be incredibly exciting.
I think this might be legit.
It was so interesting to me after learning about this to see people say the words, I choose to believe this.
Metaphor Refantasio was one of them. Totally believe it, and that's a great one.
Why? Confirmation bias. We see it all the time. People clinging to fake COVID cures, UFO sightings based on blurry photos and videos, believing the earth is round despite overwhelming evidence that it's flat according to one guy I follow on Twitter. In all of these cases, people ignore the facts that contradicts their views and instead celebrate anything that enforces them, no matter how silly or flimsy it may be. People aren't always searching for the actual truth. They're looking for what it is they want to hear. And that's when I learned about something else. I went on such a deep dive. I took this very seriously. I almost ran out of room there. The illusory truth effect. Am I saying that right? Illusory truth effect.
Illusory.
Illusory. I said I learned, not that I got smart. This effect is where the more you hear something, the more likely you are to start believing that it's true, even if it's not. It seems so obvious.
Maybe it's just something I've never thought about, but yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens online all the time. Think about this video and everything we've gone through so far. What I said was taken and it was put on Reddit. And then from Reddit, it was shared on Twitter. Still not calling it X. Then it was shared to news sites. From there, YouTubers made videos. And this isn't just a progressional path, it's also a cycle, because from here, it kept spreading back to Twitter and back to YouTube until it blew out of control and my name wasn't even being credited anymore. And now it was just an anonymous leak. I didn't actually have to write that word. It just felt like it needed more impact. And if you were online seeing all of this from multiple sources, the more that you hear something, the more you believe it.
Heck yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. People are getting excited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I swear it's for a good cause. At least my intentions were good.
All of these people were repeating what I said. Without verifying it, by the way. That's a side thing, and that should be obvious. One way that all of these outlets and articles and YouTubers and everybody could be better about not spreading misinformation or fake leaks is to maybe verify with the leak, especially when it's as accessible as I am. My DMs are open. So you know how I was worried that I was tainting the experiment by being the one to leak it because it was me, so of course people were going to believe me? There's actually a name for that too, and that's authority bias. You can still read all this, right? It's getting a little chicken scratchy. If someone you trust says something, you're more likely to believe it without questioning it.
His videos get millions and millions of views. He's got nearly 2 million subscribers. So this is probably one of the most reliable leaks rumors that we've honestly gotten in a long time.
The largest Nintendo content creator in the world. He says he knows a Nintendo Direct is happening. People are going to pay attention, not just because he's really large, but because he doesn't do this.
Think about when you were growing up, right? And your parents would tell you anything and you would just believe it. Like they told you that like Rover went to go live on a beautiful farm. And you were like, okay, well, I hope Rover has a nice time. Or like when Elon told you that it was just a regular salute. But because my words carry a lot of weight, that puts a lot of responsibility on me to be careful with those words, which I am. I am. 100% of the time, I promise I am. This is the one outlier because I had a dumb idea for a video and I am so sorry. There is one more bias that applies to what happens when a leak spreads, and it's called effect bias. This is where people base the truth on how it makes them feel. The emotional response they get from what they read or they see or they hear will affect whether or not they think it's true. Not on how accurate it is. It's quite simply just a feeling.
Why would I buy the Nintendo Switch 2 when I have a perfectly good Switch here at home? I guess a YouTuber said that there's a potential leak for new Animal Crossing for the Switch 2. Oh. I've actually always been a fan and a supporter of the Switch 2, and I can't wait to buy it.
I really hope this turns out to be true. I believe it would be really exciting to get an Animal Crossing game this early into the Switch generation.
It seems fitting. Let's hold hands and manifest, because this could be our time, Animal Crossing fans.
If the headline makes you excited or angry or hopeful or scared, the more likely you are to share that headline, to run with it. That's why YouTubers are more likely to make their video title, YouTuber leaks new Animal Crossing coming 2026, rather than unconfirmed rumors suggests possible upcoming announcement. That one doesn't make you feel much. And then we click on it. We click on the clickbait. We always do. And we hate it. We hate that we do it. But we do it because it makes us feel alive. It makes us feel. And in this case, the case of my fake leak, it was the feeling of excited and hopefulness that made this go viral. Whereas this video is probably more likely to affect people in that way, which I'm very nervous about. In fact, that's me. This is all of us right here, the 4 emotions that we're all feeling. This very fact, this affect bias, it applies here directly to Animal Crossing. It's why my leak blew up more than if I had said something like a new Chibi Robo game was coming out, you know, because then I'm relying on Eugene, the one Chibi Robo fan, to spread this leak for me, and you can't go viral with just Eugene. Recently, a lot of people have been feeling like an Animal Crossing is coming and possibly even really close to being announced. So when I said one was, they believed me because they wanted to.
The Animal Crossing tease for 2026, getting us that franchise far earlier in the life cycle than Switch 1, which to me, like we can talk about this more later, but to me, giving it to us that early means they have more long-term
feeling right is more important than being right. That's affect bias. Researching and learning about all of this psychology and biases, it's not a journey I expected to go on when I decided to lie on my podcast, but it also is the biggest revelation I had on this weird, deceitful journey. I've said multiple times in this video that I am very sorry and that I regret doing this, and I am and I do, but this experiment quite literally could not have happened unless somebody lied and then tracked it, because it couldn't have been a real leak. If it was real, none of this would matter. People believing something that's fake, that's what was important here. And now we can look at this and we can know exactly how and why our brains activate when we see leaks, so that moving forward, if we see something else, we can maybe better identify if it is real or if we just want it to be real. While it's easy to blame YouTubers and people on Twitter for posting and resharing and commenting on these leaks, it's also our own personal biases that makes them spread like wildfire. And the people resharing them are also just people. While it's easy to write them off as just a YouTuber wanting views, they're also a human being that are experiencing their own biases to what they are hearing, getting hopeful and excited and wanting to believe them as much as you do. It just so happens that they also have a platform to share their thoughts, ideas, and opinions on. And if you're clicking on those thoughts and ideas and opinions to have your biases confirmed, you're as bad as they are, or as good as they are. I mean, to err is human. To be human is good. We can all fall victim to a fake rumor if it's something that we really care about. So, it's not like we can beg the people that post leaks, fake or otherwise, to pretty please just stop doing it. I mean, that's never gonna happen. Well, I already mentioned that you could try to verify the source, especially when that source is so publicly available, but that's not always possible. And it also doesn't always mean that you're gonna get a reply as soon as you wanna make a video. So instead, in the same vein, let's take a look at how my leak was described online. In fact, throughout this video, I've actually been intentionally referring to what I did as a leak. In fact, I think I've said the word leak at least 50 times so far, and none of you probably even batted an eye, because that's what I did, right? I leaked something. Except I didn't. I can't tell you how I know. Do with this information what you will.
How do you know?
I can't tell you. I just said I can't tell you how I know. I don't know how much of that is true, and I never get information. I'm skeptical. Don't take my word for it. I didn't leak anything. I mean, yeah, because I was lying, but that's not what I mean. I didn't show any proof of anything. I didn't reveal anything real. Even if I had a real source, which I didn't, it would have been me just spreading a rumor. A leak is something much more tangible, more real. Like, you remember when the photos of the Switch 2 shell and design and motherboard and everything got posted online from the factory? That's a leak. Or like when footage of The Last of Us 2 gameplay was circulating online well before the game released. That's a leak. What I did? It was a rumor. And if you think I'm just splitting hairs here, I'm not. I really do feel like definition is important here, and I think all of the news journalism articles felt the same way, because all of the articles and even the Reddit thread, and even when Stealth covered the Reddit thread, they all used the word rumor. But every single YouTuber said it was a leak. And I want to be clear, I'm not blaming anyone, because before this experiment, I would have 100% done the same thing, because I didn't really understand the difference in the definition. I never really thought about it like that. But that's where fake rumors become fake leaks, and you accidentally end up misleading the public. I'm really not trying to call anybody out here, because again, would have done the same thing. But I do think this is a key moment here, and it's even reflected in Nintendo Prime's comment section, with one of the top comments echoing exactly what I'm saying, that we need a clearer distinction between what is a rumor and what is a leak. Especially so when I feel like so much of the original context has been removed.
So I don't know how much of that is true. I'm skeptical. Don't take my word for it.
All of that context got lost in that Reddit thread, and they think, well, if it's a leak, surely he gave proof. Surely there's a reason why all of these people are talking about it online. And I'm gonna let the illusory truth effect go to work, because everybody is echoing what he said, so it must be true. So let me suggest this. If you're covering a story or you're talking about something that you heard, if there's no proof or evidence of the actual thing, let's call it what it is. A rumor. Let's save the word leak for when something actually leaks, like my kitchen ceiling recently. Got a big hole in it now. That's a leak. This one simple shift could stop a lot of misinformation from spreading online. So I guess what I'm saying ultimately is, if you're out there and you hear someone say, oh, did you hear that Wood lied about a fake leak? You can say, no, he didn't. He didn't. He lied about a fake rumor. And that's better, maybe. I want to be clear that this whole experiment is not about stopping speculation. It was about recognizing the difference between a leak, a rumor, the truth, and also just trying to learn how leaks and rumors spread. It's fun to talk about games, to speculate, to get hyped. And honestly, we need more of that and less of all of the junk we have to see and deal with every single day. But maybe after this video, if you see another leak or rumor online pop up, you can ask yourself, do I believe this because it's true or because I want it to be?
Whoa, that looks a lot better than mine.
That's all right. You don't normally do camera?
No, I don't. And I honestly can't see why they would lie about this at all.
Well, it's really nice to meet you.
Yes, it's nice to meet you too.
But I wanted to call you because I wanted to be honest and open with you specifically about the fact that I lied.
Okay.
I had an idea for a video that I'm working on. I feel so guilty about it now. Like, I really regret the whole thing. But the idea was I wanted to spread a fake leak and then track how the leak spread online so that I could find a way to stop fake leaks in the future, because I hate that they ruin everything.
Right.
That was the intention. Right. Your reaction specifically, saying things about how you don't know why I would lie about this, and that you trusted me. And so I wanted to apologize to you and the entire Animal Crossing community, because that was really the thing that got hit the hardest by this. That was really what made it all go viral, is people just so excited for Animal Crossing, and that was the biggest reaction.
That's true, yeah. Obviously, I can't speak for the whole Animal Crossing community, but I mean, yeah, I was definitely skeptical about the leak. I remember saying in the very first video I made about it that I trusted you and I think you're a good source. What I tried to say is he isn't the leaker himself. He got it from a source or such. I guess that's what the post on Reddit was suggesting anyways. So I did say, you know, it's always good to be skeptical about leaks, because well, yeah, things like this can happen and you don't know if they're true. I accept your apology.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to.
I'm sure I can understand where you're coming from, because leaks can be really frustrating, and the whole sort of leak culture behind games, you just never know.
Yeah.
Really, I suppose that's kind of my biggest takeaway. Leaks aren't guaranteed to be real. They could be, but you know.
I mean, that was the whole point.
It'd be kind of crazy if they suddenly came out and actually did a Nintendo Direct next month or something, and that was the last thing.
Would you like to predict when, so we can pass the heat off to you?
From what I know of Animal Crossing release timescales and stuff like that, I would say no later than 2027. No insider info, just pure vibes from me.
Well, I love your vibes, and I appreciate you taking my call. And yeah, I appreciate you hearing me out.
I appreciate you at least owning it and coming out and saying what's true rather than sort of passing it off and saying, oh no, they said this or they said that. You know, I think it's better just to be honest at the end of the day, even if people are upset. It's always better to be truthful, really. So yeah, that's what I would take from it.
My intention was always to come clean, and it was. Even now, I could just say my source was wrong, and I made a mistake, and I'm never going to trust them again, and pretend like it was all a lie. I could do that, but that's not the video. That was never the point. The point wasn't to actually lie in the end. It was to be honest and to tell the truth and make this video. The video's over, if you couldn't tell. But there was a couple of things I did want to say that I just couldn't find a good spot to add them into the video. For anybody that still doesn't believe me that the whole point of this was that I hate gaming leaks. I had this Zelda Switch 2 weeks before Nintendo even revealed it. Before people even knew if this was a real thing, I had it in my house. But I didn't say a word. I didn't leak. I literally, this would have been a leak. But it's not mine to leak. Also, and most seriously of all, I want to give a big apology to Mayor Ren.
I will hire every single Etsy witch I can to put a curse upon you.
Please don't put that Etsy curse on me. And if you do, sucked in. I already bought my own Etsy protection spell. And I said I need a protection spell to protect me from other possible incoming witch spells. So I've Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card your spell in advance. You can't get me. Please don't do it. I'm scared of spells. I was scared even buying this. And it was only $8. But I do promise you I will never lie to you again. And if I do lie, I'll be honest about lying eventually.
Eventually the truth will be out.
Eventually the truth will come out, and it'll be through my mouth for the first time. So, you're welcome.
Wood said on Nintendo that the next Direct would have Animal Crossing news. The f does he know?